Welcome to the podcast that talks about everything and nothing. Hello everyone and welcome to Use the Escape Podcast episode number 1. Number 1. That's it. That's right. It's here. It's time. It's rambling. Yeah. Brain can't catch up with the rest of my thoughts. So, yep, this is the first episode of Use the Escape Podcast. So, it's gonna sound pretty bad. There's no denying this by any stretch of the imagination. This is gonna be bad. But with me is my friend Lauren.
Hey.
And we are here to talk about movies. Good movies, bad movies. Now, this is just kind of... We were talking, and I came up with the idea because we've been stuck inside because we live in the beautiful state of cold Ohio.
Fuck Ohio.
So, yeah, we have been dealing with a lot of snow as of recently. So I thought, you know what? We've been watching movies for like ridiculously many days now, or movies have been on television, movies have been brought up, watching reviews, whatever, and I thought, you know what, why don't we talk about our top 5 favorite movies to watch when we're stuck inside. Now, they could be good or bad, we can agree or disagree, you know, it's just an idea of we talk about movies. Doesn't have to be no specific genre or anything like that, just movies in general. And I'll start out with this discussion by talking about a movie that I actually like a lot called Top Secret. It is a parody movie, but not like the parody movies of today of where like the scary movies or the epic movies or the disaster movies. Mind you, that movie was fucking horrible. This Top Secret is a movie that stars Val Kilmer, who a lot of people would know him as Batman later. And it's just a funny, good parody movie. Like, it's genuinely funny. And I enjoy every moment of watching this. The first time I remember watching it, and after you get through I'll say this, there's no spoilers. I'm just going to say, after you get past the first initial scene, when you're first introduced to Val Kilmer, he plays an American rock star. I can't remember his character's name, but he's going to Germany, and this is during around the World War II time. So, like, this is like a big deal for someone to go over to Germany, considering about the time frame that the movie's taking place in. So, his agent is being like, dude, they're letting us come over. Don't fuck this up. Like, don't screw this up. Don't joke around. And he's painting while he's looking outside, and he's taking a train, mind. I didn't mention that. He's taking a train, so he's painting as he's in the train. And so when they reveal the picture, it's just a bunch of lines, like the constant motion of a train, so everything looks like a giant blur. So to me, that's actually like really funny, because like, I'm like, that actually takes talent, because you're painting a constant moving background.
That does sound really funny, even though I've never seen the movie. It's
a great movie. And there's a part where they meet up with defecting group. I don't know, like basically French spies, basically, but all about like the guns and shit. And there's a part where there's this guy who's part of the team, and he's a big black guy, and his name is Chocolate Mousse.
Chocolate Mousse?
His name is Chocolate Mousse. And like, there's a scene where like they're hiding in their... I'm not trying to ramble about this movie. We'll go to Lauren's pick, but my last thing about the movie that I also think is great, you can find this online. The Nazis find where these people are hiding, and they come in, their guns blazing and all this stuff. And Chocolate Mousse is just standing there, and he has like a gun that looks like it looks like the gun from Predator that Jesse Ventura is carrying. It's like a stupidly giant gun. They're in this camp, and he's standing out in the middle of just in the middle of this hideout, and the Nazis are shooting him point blank, mind you, point blank, and they are not hitting him. They have the ability to shoot weapons just like the stormtroopers do. They are missing him, and he just with one swoop, he shoots all of them. It's an amazing movie.
That does sound pretty awesome. And Chocolate Mousse just keeps me laughing.
That's his name!
The name was Chocolate Mousse.
And you are Chocolate Mousse. I love it. It's a great movie.
Oh, that's so funny.
Well, what would you be? What would you be your number 5?
My number 5.
Again, this is in no particular order, but
Yeah. Me, I really like the movie Julie and Julia. Such a good movie. But mostly because I really love to cook and I love food. So just watching food makes me happy, especially when I'm stuck inside. The other bit is you're going back and forth between Julia Child and then Julie Powell, the author, who's trying to go through Julia Child's cookbook. And the way they cut from, like, Julia Child's life to Julie Powell reading or doing something that Julia Child did, it's like seamless cutscenes. I love it.
I've only seen, I've seen bits and clips of it when you have it on, and there's that. I have known nothing of this movie, honestly, and it has nothing to do with you or anyone. That's just not my movie.
Yet you like to watch food shows with me.
That's different, though, because, I mean, what you've told me about the story is, like, the lady who's like, I'm going to do what this lady did in her cookbook, and the cookbook lady's all pissed about it. It's like, that makes no sense to me.
And that's toward the end, though.
Still, it makes no sense to me. It's like, wouldn't you not want someone to be like, oh my god, you actually want to do something that that's so sweet. It makes no sense to me. But I mean, if that's it's your movie, I can't say anything about it. My next pick, oh my god, I wish I had my phone. My next pick, I would have to say, would be Big Fish. This is a movie I have talked ridiculously amount about. It's such a good movie. I love it so much. She can attest because I've told her a million times that she needs to watch this movie.
Mm-hmm. I had that movie in my house growing up. I never watched it.
It's such a good movie. It's basically about this man who basically tells his life story to his son. And to the son, like, at first the son's all about it. Like, he loves the story. He loves hearing it. But as he gets older and older and older, it just seems far-fetched to him. It doesn't seem like these things really happen to his dad.
Yeah.
But as the movie goes on, some things are kind of shown that maybe it is, maybe it's not. It's all up to the viewer to like decide if these are tall tales or if the dad is telling the truth. But it's such a good movie, and Obi-Wan Kenobi is in this movie.
Oh.
Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
I don't know.
If we pronounce your name
wrong. If we pronounce your name wrong, I apologize. But he's in this movie, and he plays the younger version of the father, and has some he's the main character, and they have other people that make quick little appearances. Like 2 people that come to my mind. Danny DeVito makes an appearance in this movie. Young Danny DeVito. We need to clarify that. And he's in Grown Ups. He was in Con Air. Steve Buscemi is in this movie. Steve Buscemi was in this movie, and he literally has maybe a few scenes in this movie, and it's such a good movie. I love it. I can't. Oh my! If any movie I say in this list, I say you should at least watch one time in your life. It's Big Fish. What would be your next?
My next one, kind of a big musical buff, would be Singing in the Rain.
Now, go ahead.
One of my favorites to watch, especially when it's raining outside.
A little redundant, but okay.
Hey.
it is a little redundant.
I love the time.
It's raining outside. We gotta watch the movie. We gotta watch Singing in the Rain. It's hailing outside. Let's watch Haley's Comet.
Shut up. No, I just love the time frame the movie takes place. It's during the era of silent movies, trying to move into the talkies. And then trying to figure out how did you incorporate sound in the movie without sounding stupid.
No, I know the plot of it. I've never seen it. I know the plot of it. And it's weird that I'm about to say this, that I do have a favorite song from it, but I've never seen the movie.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
Make 'Em Laugh.
That is a really good song.
So it's weird that I can say that I actually like that song, but I've never seen the movie. And it has nothing against, I'm not a musical person by any stretch of the imagination. I have nothing against them. It's just something I don't really watch.
One of my favorite scenes is they're trying to hide a mic in the dressing room with the female actresses. She kept rubbing it with her arm, and they're like, "Stop hitting the mic! We're getting all your feedback. Stop it!"
Oh God, I'm trying to think of my next movies that I said. And now I generally can't remember. Do you remember what I told you? Because I made up this list yesterday, and of course...
Oh, Fantasia.
Fantasia, yeah. I love Fantasia. The first one. Let's keep that very clear. Fantasia, just Fantasia, not Fantasia 2000. Mostly because I've never seen Fantasia 2000. And... Oh, shush. She looked at me weird. Yeah, this is gonna be great for this is a great audio podcast when we do visual things. This is gonna be great. This is gonna piss off people.
I'm a visual person.
You can't see it, but I am doing the Macarena. Yeah. Anyways, but no. Even though that it was considered a bomb when it first came out,
That is true.
it's honestly a really good movie in my mind. Because I mean, like. I like another movie that it's not on my list. It's still a good movie, Interstellar 5555, and I love that movie too. They both kind of fall in the same category where there's no audio in these movies. I should clarify this, that when I say audio, I mean there are no speaking. There's no speaking roles in these movies. So it's the visuals and the sound that drive the picture, that drive the movie. And I like that. I enjoy that. That's why I like Fantasia. I mean, like, the music to the visuals is just amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously we all know about Sorcerer Mickey. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you know, fuck the Sorcerer's Apprentice. That song is, you know, synonymous or not sound with that picture. With that movie, with that image. When you think of Disney, when you think of Mickey Mouse, that's what you think of. You think of. Okay, we're not. No. But you think of that image of him on a mountain. I mean, they made a Funko Pop of it, for God's sakes. Mm-hmm. So that's what you think about, and I mean, it's just a great, and also and the ending to it, Night on Bull Mountain. You got mixtures of different music genres and things like that, and different. I mean, it's all classical music, yes, but even in classical music, there are different genres. Like not every single classical music sounds like Flight of the Bumblebee. Not everything sounds like Mozart. Not everything sounds like Bach. You know, they all have different sounds, different feels to it. And like Night on Bull Mountain is one of my all-time favorite songs, other than from that movie. I'm not going to go into that realm of music because I could be here for a lot longer talking about just music, but. Night on Bull Mountain, just the visuals to Night on Bull Mountain, like when you hear that music and you see the visuals, it just really like drives home horror and suspense and things like that, and I love it. Mm-hmm.
Now to go into my favorite in that category of Disney movie is The Lion King, which I'm wearing the shirt right now.
Again, great for visuals.
Yeah, well, I'm saying I'm wearing the shirt. That way I can tell you.
It's a sweater, but whatever.
But I love The Lion King. I've watched it maybe like 100 times, and I never get bored of it. It's my go-to movie when I'm like comfy and warm. I'm like, I want to watch The Lion King. It's got two of my favorite sidekick characters, Timon and Pumbaa. How do you not love them?
See, I'm more of an Ed person.
Ed is funny. I will give you that. Ed is funny.
I like Ed.
Some people say, oh, but the movie's so sad. Yes, it is sad. I do cry every time, but I love the ending. Scar getting his ass kicked.
Spoilers. I mean, it's been out. It came out in 1990. If you haven't seen it by now, then that's on you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm mad because I generally cannot remember my other movies.
It was one of the zombie movies.
Okay, thank you. And then my next one would be Land from the man, the myth, the legend himself, George Romero. It would be Land of the Dead. Now, a lot of people would probably think, that's weird. Why would you say Land of the Dead when there's Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead? And yes, both of those are really good movies. I do not take those away from him at all. I mean, I'll be completely honest. Night of the Living Dead is the reason I like zombie movies. And Dawn of the Dead is why I would never want to get stuck in a fucking mall during a zombie apocalypse. Fuck that. But there was just something about Land of the Dead which really, like, I liked. I enjoyed, because it's kind of a sad, like, what I liked about Romero's movies is you can look at black and white as you want, as in it's a zombie movie, black and white. That's how you see it.
Yeah.
But if you really think about with watching Land of the Dead, it's different because the zombies in that movie aren't like it's in a weird way. It's a satire of the world. It's flipped because the zombies are actually the people and the people are actually zombies. in a weird way of saying that they're stuck in their way. The people who are in this world surviving, they're stuck in their ways when the zombies are moving and going and changing and things like that. And another way, a way you could also look at it, it's kind of like the movie Warm Bodies, just better and not shit. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. I did not like Warm Bodies. It was dumb to me.
Yeah, the movie was shit.
But it's like, because basically the zombies are they're relearning and reteaching themselves in a way to like kind of be human, but not the definition of human what you think. Because they're still zombies. They're still all about eating brains and flesh and all this stuff. But it's just something about that movie which made me just go, okay, this is my movie. This is a movie that no matter how old I get, no matter what era I get, I love it. And it's weird for me to say that, considering it's a somewhat gory movie, and I'm a horror fan, but I'm not about gore. Like, I'm not about excessive amounts of blood, but I feel like this one, because how interesting the kills are in this movie, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with it, because it's not an obsessive amount of blood to an extent where I'm just like, no, there's just too much of gore to actually have a good story. It has an amazing story, and one of my favorite kills, actually, from the movie is when these people are trying to getting out in the field, and they have to drive away. This guy's in this Jeep, and there's a zombie that came up, and if looking at the zombie straight on, there's nothing on the head, on the neck. There's no head. So that's what it looks like, though. But when the zombie leans forward, the head's still attached, but by a sliver. It's still attached by a sliver. So when the body falls, the head swings over and bites this guy on the arm.
Ah.
Well, on the shoulder. On the shoulder. And then when they knock the zombie off, the head goes back, and they shoot the zombie through the torso, and it goes through the head.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's like things like that which makes it a really good movie. I mean, it could sound gory to some, but it's such a good movie in my mind.
The next one, I'm probably going to get bashed for saying it because it's such a bad movie.
Number 4? Okay.
But I love it, and that's Master of Disguise.
I can't watch that movie.
I can't watch that movie. It's so bad, but I love it. I just love Dana Carvey.
See, you're that weird group of people that when they saw Wayne's World, everyone else in this world went to Mike Myers. You're that weird percent that actually that was all about Dana Carvey.
Yeah. I just think he's funny. Because I love watching Saturday Night Live, and I just think this movie is hilarious. As stupid as it may be, I think it's funny. And my favorite thing is the turtle scene. Just, turtle. Am I not turtly enough for the Turtle Club? Oh, the thing that basically ran the trailer. You could not see the trailer and not see that scene. Yeah, they pushed that scene so hard in the trailer. And it's not even that, I mean, to me, it's not even that funny, honestly. It wasn't even that long of a scene, but they pushed it so hard. That movie has a lot, there's a lot of weird plot. I wouldn't even say plot holes, but there's a lot of weird elements they put in that movie where you kind of just scratch your head and you go, this makes no sense to me. I got some weird looks even when I bought the movie. I'm like, what? I like it. Get over it. Oh my god. Stick with your last one because I got to think of what mine is. So we'll just stick with you for your number 5. My number 5 is another classic that I love, and that's Wizard of Oz. So we would go to it if I want to get cuddling, watch a movie, or if I'm sick. This movie actually makes me feel so much better to watch it when I'm sick. And I don't know why. It could be because the scarecrow kind of looks like my grandpa. Maybe. How I like it, but I just love Wizard of Oz so much. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with liking a movie. I mean, I won't lie. When I first saw that movie, it terrified me. It terrified a lot of people. Mostly the monkeys and the witch. Monkeys terrified me. I know. A girl at Baby said she was terrified of the monkeys. She would not watch the movie for a long time. I don't blame them for that, considering that Disaster. I think it was Disaster. Was Disaster movie the one where the world was ending, or is that? I don't know because I never saw it. Okay, fuck. I think it was Disaster movie, but they had I think it was that one. They had a scene of Alvin and the Chipmunks, obviously fake Alvin and the Chipmunks, but they still called it Alvin and the Chipmunks, and they're like, we are Alvin and the Chipmunks, and then they went to heavy metal.
And then they just went demonic, and after, like, once they went demonic and all creepy and fucking weird and shit like that, I'm like, I can't look at the Chipmunks. Like, I mean, now I'm fine, but for that time when that movie came out, there was, like, a long period of time where I was just like, nah, Chipmunks, nah, they're dead to me. Mm-hmm. They're dead to me. Oh, my God. Now,
Yeah, Wizard of Oz just gives me the fuzzies inside.
Which is fine. I mean, I actually enjoy it. We both had the same teacher in middle school. Well, no, we were in different classes. But, okay, so in middle school, I had a teacher in my history class, and she was obsessed with Wizard of Oz. To the point where we watched that movie in class because we were going to do, like, this trial of Dorothy. I don't really understand what this has to do with history, but we had to do this trial of Dorothy. Basically, you know, it's a made-up thing where, like, after she kills the wicked witch, she goes on trial for it. And so we had to do that. And so when we watched the movie to, like, understand the characters and all that stuff, and every single scene, like clockwork, she would be like, well, if you look at this scene, this happens. If you look at this scene, this happens. If you look over to the right, this, and that, and this, and this, and that. Like, she knew that movie in and out. It was like, lady, this is your hobby, then that's great, but you should get a better hobby.
Sounds like my mother. She loves Wizard of Oz too.
But to the point where she would be like, if you notice in this scene, like, this is what she would say. If you notice in this scene, when the Tin Man breaks the pot and makes the crown, right? It breaks like a normal pot would. Now watching this scene, when it falls off, it bounces like rubber. Mm-hmm. Like, is it like that?
Yeah, kind of.
All right. Girl, I'm trying to remember. I'm honestly trying to remember my last movie, and I'm literally like...
Oh, just think of one.
Just think of one. Yeah, it's not like I tried to plan this out or anything. This is why you write things down, people. This is why you write things down. I would have to say another movie then that if I can think of one off the top of my head that I get enjoyment of watching over and over and over again would have to be... You know what? I'm gonna throw this in the ring. I'm just thinking about this. It's not even a movie that I've watched over and over and over again. I've seen it one time, and that one time I watched it, I enjoyed every moment of it. And not many people know about this movie, and I feel like more people need to know about it. 305. 305. Now, what this movie basically is about, it's about these 5 Spartan soldiers that were with the Spartan army during the Battle of Thermopylae. Like, it's basically it's another parody movie. It's a parody of 300. That's why it's called 305. But what makes this movie good in my mind is these 5 guys that are part of the Spartan army would never make it in the Spartan army. Like, that's what makes this great. And it's actually, like, really good. It's funny in my mind. Like, It's generally, like, there's, like, a big fat guy who has a Christmas mug. He just carries a Christmas mug with him all the time.
Christmas mug.
Like, he's with it in every scene, and they shoot it like a documentary. They shoot it like They shoot it like a documentary. So it's not so much like a documentary, like, like some dude narrating stuff. It's literally like, the camera's there, and the guy's like, well, yeah, I'm so and so, and Leonidas in charge of me of looking after whatever. That's how the movie starts out. So it starts out that these 5 guys are in the field. How, if you know the story of 300, that the Persians found a passage behind the section that the Spartans were in. Mm-hmm. Behind Thermopylae, so they attacked him from both sides, front and back. That's how they did it. Well, in this movie, they make it clear that the Spartans knew about that pass. That, like, the Spartans knew that pass they can get behind us and we could be screwed. They knew about that, so they put these 5 guys there. In the event that something was happening, they were supposed to go and be like, "Yo, we're being attacked from the back." So there's a big fat guy. There is a dude who's in this. The best way to describe this guy, he looks like Dwight from The Office.
That is hilarious.
And he thinks that he's a badass too, which makes it even better. He's just like, I am the most amazing fighter in the Spartan army. None of these guys can stand up to me in any shape or form and whatever. And he thinks of himself as the most mighty and badass person, but he is the biggest scaredy cat. And then there's a blind guy. Yes, there is a blind guy in the Spartan army, and I don't mean blind as it's not like, oh, they could hint that he's blind. He has a seeing eye dog.
He has a
seeing eye dog and a cane. Like, he's that blind. And then there's a guy that's with this that literally looks like he's a Persian. He looks like a Persian. He looks like a Persian. Like, if you've ever seen the 300 movie and you see what the king of the Persians look like, he has like weird gold piercings on his face and covered in gold and kind of like, you know, and things like that. This is what that guy looks like. He looks like that.
That's fine.
And then the only guy that would look like he'd belong in the Spartan army. This is like the only thing I'm not a big fan of is this one thing, childish humor. Because you can do funny things and not have stupidly childish humor.
Yeah, that's true.
But his name is Testicles.
Testicles?
Yes, his name is Testicles. Really?
I'm sorry, that's funny.
See, this is what I mean. You don't need to put that in the movie.
But it makes it funny.
I guess to you it does, but you don't need it.
Maybe not, but it's funny.
And so he's the only guy that honestly looks like he belongs in the Spartan army. And basically, you know, they find out that basically the movie's like, you know, they knew about the spot, and so they get this like weird morale build up, being like, we should be out there with the other guys, not here fighting, not here guarding some sheep. Let's go fight. Yeah. Immediate newspaper, Spartan lose war, looking for these 5 guys. They're like, it's like that, and they go into hiding. And like,
like, oh, we fucked up.
Basically, yeah. But what makes it like great, like the one guy who looks like Dwight, he writes a book called "How I Defeated the Persians," or just something like that. Like basically on the lines, like basically making him seem like he was the noble one of the group and things
Sounds
like that.
Dwight.
And oh my god, it's a good movie. Like they meet the Oracle, and the Oracle turns out to be like this dude in drag.
That's funny.
Like, and like even he's admitting to him that, like even he's admitting to the people, like when he meets them and he's doing the whole Oracle things, like, you know, you must find your way, and like how, like, you know, how the Oracle works. He's like really being like, oh yeah, you gotta fight. Listen, guys, I'm just bullshitting you. This is like a giant con. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing, but the dance moves are awesome, isn't it? It's such a good movie. Like, more people need to know about 305. It might not be a great movie by Rotten Tomato. Like, honestly, a lot of these movies we talked about by Rotten Tomato standards, they might not be great, and then some of them they might be amazing. But you know, we enjoy them because they're good movies. They're actually good put together movies. Oh, I shouldn't say good put together, because some of the movies we listed aren't really well put together. But we enjoy. Oh no, 305 according to the world is a bad movie.
Yeah, Master of Disguise is a bad movie to the world.
But I still say that, you know, you should definitely check these out, and I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the podcast. Sorry that this was kind of like this is just to test the waters to see how it is, but we will be back with more of these, and as hopefully we go on, this will get better. We thank you for listening to the Use the Escape podcast, and we will see you next time.
Bye!
Game over!